Coming up on Evening Edition, we take a look at SIU's first African-American graduate. Plus, President Trump reacts to the latest border wall funding plan. And a Mexican drug lord is found guilty. Live from Southern Illinois University, you are watching River Region Evening Edition.
Hey, Williamson County Police were called to Cambria this morning after reports of a toddler running loose in a field with no clothes on. Good evening, I'm Jacob Gordon.
And I'm Diamond Palmer. Investigators with the Sheriff's Department say they responded around 7 this morning to an open field near Cambria, where a 911 caller had sheltered the child in their car. Their child was taken to the Cambria Police Department while parents were located. Police say the parents didn't know the child had left their home. DCFS was also called and is looking into the incident along with the living conditions for the child and other living in the home.
The jury has been selected in the trial of a Southern Illinois man accused of gouging and clawing another man's eyes. According to the Perry County court records, Alan Fisher is charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery and 1 count of intimidation in connection with the 2018 assault. Prosecutors and defense attorneys will begin arguments tomorrow. The judge says he expects to have a verdict by Friday. And a longtime Southern Illinois restaurateur was laid rest today. 92-year-old John Algani of DuQuoin ran his family business for more than 30 years. Even in his so-called retirement, he spent time at the restaurant conversing with customers. A post on Algani's Facebook page on Saturday following his death was shared nearly 400 times and had more than 1,000 comments. Services for Algani took place today at Sacred Heart Catholic Church in DuQuoin.
Well, it was a rainy start to this morning, but the rain has brought the cold temperatures.
And thankfully, Diamond, it brought the sunshine with it as well. Madeline Parker is here now with a first look at weather. Madeline, those cold temperatures aren't going to stick around for long.
Well, Jacob, it is going to be kind of cold tonight. It's going to be dropping down to 33 degrees, but we will have some clear skies. Tomorrow morning, it's going to get even colder with 27 degrees, but we'll have some sunshine. And around midday, it is going to be warming up to about 42 degrees with some partly cloudy skies. And I have some bad news. It's going to look like there's going to be some possible snow later on in the week, but we might have we have a lot of high winds, but I will show you more in my 5-day forecast.
All right, looking forward to that, Madeline. Thanks. Illinois has 30 new properties on the National Register of Historic Places. The number shows efforts paid off by the historic preservation advocates across the state. The 30 sites were added based on recommendations from the State Historic Preservation Office, which is part of the agency. Properties must be more than 50 years old to be eligible. Each county in Illinois has at least 1 property or historic district on the register. And a 30-acre plot of farmland that Abraham Lincoln owned in central Illinois sold today. Retired Charleston farmer Ron Best sold his family's 590-acre farm, which includes the Coles County acreage once owned by the 16th president. The farmland sold for $300,000 today at a hotel in Charleston. Lincoln bought 40 acres in 1841 from his father.
As we count down SIU's 150th anniversary, we take a look at the early life of SIU's first African-American graduate.
Evening Edition's Madeline Parker has more.
Today, students know it as Southern Illinois University Carbondale. But back in 1869, they knew it as Southern Illinois Normal University. One of those students was Dr. Alexander Lane, who would become the university's first African-American graduate. Pamela Smoot, an associate professor at SIU, studied the life of Dr. Lane, and what she found was, in her words, nothing short of inspirational.
Dr. Alexander Lane was a former slave in Durant, Mississippi, which is in Holmes County, Mississippi. During the Civil War, he befriended a Union colonel. His name was Virgil Lyons, but they became friends, and when the Civil War ended, you know, he went and talked to Alexander Lane's mom and asked if it would be okay for him to take him north with the promise that he would educate him.
Colonel Lyons took Lane to Tamaroa, Illinois, where Lane then lived with the Curley family.
So they took Alexander Lane, he was about 8 years old, and they used him as a servant. And as he got older and, you know, became more mature, he worked in the fields. And then, you know, over time, a relationship developed, and they sent him here to go to school.
But coming to Carbondale not only gave Lane a degree, but it also gave him another opportunity.
And there was no African-American culture in Tamaroa. When he came to Carbondale, you know, there were, you know, black churches, there were black businesses, there were, you know, lots of black people here in Carbondale and in Murfreesboro. So he actually, you know, it was a cultural experience for him.
Alexander Lane graduated in 1881, but his journey had only just begun. For Evening Edition, I'm Madeline Parker.
And be sure to tune in to Evening Edition next Tuesday to see the next part of Dr. Lane's journey.
A volunteer firefighter with Down syndrome in Marion County is coming back to the department after he was bullied. Jason Egan left the Sandoval Fire Department after a Facebook post by his sister claimed firefighters called him names and removed him from the emergency paging system.
I'm not sure if it was about the Down syndrome that he was being bullied about or just that he was Down syndrome and he was, on the receiving end of someone picking on him.
The Sandoval Village trustee apologized to Egan and offered him his job back. One of the 4 firefighters involved officially resigning, while another is expected in the coming days.
And ahead on Evening Edition, El Chapo's case has reached a verdict.
Plus, the U.S. government avoids another shutdown. You're watching Evening Edition at 5. With just days to go before a crucial government funding deadline, President Trump isn't happy with the bipartisan compromise on border security just struck on Capitol Hill.
But he also says he's weighing some options in terms of how to fund his proposed border wall. Karen Caifa has the latest from Washington.
The answer is no, I'm not. I'm not happy. We're working very hard.
President Trump not pleased with the current border security funding deal, but not entirely rejecting the idea of signing it.
I don't think you're going to see a shutdown.
On Monday night, after a weekend impasse, Top Hill negotiators said they'd reached a compromise.
We reached an agreement in principle.
But one that falls well short of President Trump's $5.7 billion ask for a border wall, and also shy of funds proposed in a Senate package last year. The bipartisan agreement includes, among other items, $1.375 billion for barrier funding, prohibiting the use of concrete walls to cover roughly 55 miles of new barrier.
This is a compromise. No one got everything they wanted.
The goal now, get legislation moving through Congress.
I look forward to reviewing the full text as soon as possible and hope the Senate can act on this legislation in short order.
Even if he does sign off on the bill to avoid another government shutdown, President Trump hinted he's looking at other options for the border wall funds.
We're building the wall, and we're using other methods other than this, and in addition to this.
That could include executive orders or the declaration of a national emergency, actions that will likely prompt legal challenges. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Retired NASA astronaut Mark Kelly is running for U.S. Senate in Arizona. Kelly announced a campaign in a Twitter post earlier today, calling it his, quote, next mission. He said his campaign will be focused on affordable health care, job growth, climate change, the economy, and stagnant of wages. Kelly also shared a video saying, quote, we're all in this together.
Notorious drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was found guilty on all charges for his action while running the Sinaloa cartel. According to witnesses, Joaquin Guzman ordered multiple executions, engaged in bribery, and even committed murder. The jury heard wiretaps and saw text messages provided by a technical analyst that Guzman hired to insert spyware on his associates' phones.
And most of all, we would like to thank the jurors for their commitment, their patience, and the careful attention they paid to the evidence throughout the long course of this trial.
Guzman is expected to be sentenced to life, but his lawyers say he's not giving up hope of freedom. And 2 suspects are dead after a police chase and an officer-involved shooting in Kentucky yesterday. After a distress call, Kentucky State Police found a vehicle and tried to pull the suspect driver over to see if anyone needed help, but the driver fled. The chase went on for at least 20 minutes until the suspect crashed the car on the exit ramp in Oldham County. Moments later, law enforcement officers opened fire, shooting a man and a woman who were in the car.
It's an active and ongoing investigation, but I can confirm for you that we had 2 deceased, 1 male, 1 female, currently unidentified, and we have not notified next of kin. 1 that was transported to U of L pronounced deceased.
Troopers have not said what caused officers to open fire. No one else was hurt.
And 5 people were found dead from gunshot wounds inside a Texas home yesterday. The youngest victim was a 15-month-old. Also killed were the baby's mother and great-grandparents. The father of the child was found dead inside the home. The rest were found outside. Investigators say this is a murder-suicide, but are waiting to hear from the medical examiner on the official cause of death.
This time there are no arrests have been made, nor are we at this point looking for any suspects. We want the community to know that they're safe.
Police are still investigating as to what led up to the shooting. In our business news tonight, shares of Starbucks hit an all-time high on Wall Street yesterday. Not only that, but Starbucks stock is up 20% since Howard Schultz resigned as CEO in 2017. The current CEO, Kevin Johnson, credits the company's growth in China for its recent success. And most recent quarter, Starbucks reported total sales growth of up to 18%. The company is also touting success with its mobile app, saying that 14% of all its U.S. orders are being done via mobile.
The state's biggest city is suing e-cigarette dealers. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel says the addictive products are being illegally marketed and sold to children in the city. He filed a lawsuit today against 27 online retailers and 4 retail stores in Chicago. Mayor Emanuel says e-cigarettes don't help people stop smoking. They just give them another way to do it.
This has nothing to do with quitting. That is e-cigarettes. It has everything to do with addiction of our youth.
A report published yesterday by the CDC says e-cigarette brand Juul contributes to escalating rates of teens who use e-cigarettes. The study also claims that 1.3 million increase essentially wipes out any progress in declining youth tobacco use in the recent years. Half of all American children with mental health condition are not getting the necessary treatment. That's according to a new study published to the journal JAMA Pediatrics. Researchers looked at data from a survey of nearly 50 million kids ages 6 through 18. They found 7.7 million children had at least one mental health condition and found only half of them got treatment from a mental health provider in the last 12 months.
And this is not something you see every day. A 1,000-pound tiger was found inside a garage in an abandoned home in Texas. It was inside of a rickety cage by someone who went to the home. Officers tranquilized the tiger and brought it in a wrecker to help get out the large cat. Once the wrecker got the tiger out of the driveway, it was loaded onto a trailer where it was taken to an area animal shelter.
Will you see any more of that rain coming up this week? Madeline has your forecast next.
But first, on Wall Street, stocks ended the day with positive results. The Nightly Business Report has more coming up next at 5.
Welcome back to River Region Evening Edition. Here is a viewer photo sent in by Maggie Latham overlooking SIU's Comlot building. If you have a viewer photo you would like to send in, please send it to our Facebook or Twitter at River Region News. As you can see in this photo, it is quite cloudy, but it's only partly cloudy right now with 38 degrees. Our dew point's at 27. Our humidity is at 61, so it's a lot lower than we've been seeing recently. But those winds have been picking up 17 miles per hour from the west, with their barometer reading 29.96. But for our almanac, we can see that today was about average for temperature wise. We have 40 for the high with an average of 46 degrees. Our average low was 25 degrees with 25 was the low, 26 was the low today, excuse me. But if we look at our temperatures around the region, we can see Carbondale was at 38 with partly cloudy skies. Marion also had partly cloudy skies with 37 degrees. Waterloo was at 36 degrees with also partly cloudy skies. Cape Girardeau and Paducah were very sunny with 42 and 43 degrees respectively, and Evansville was cloudy with 36 degrees. As we can see, we have a 40-degree temperature all throughout the river region and up into Chicago. It's starting to get a little bit warmer over here. As we saw yesterday, we started to have more warmer temperatures coming in through the region, but we will be looking more into that later on in the week. As we can see for our surface map, we do have a small warm front coming in, which will be bringing in some warmer temperatures. We also have some rain that could be possibly coming in, but also some snow up in the north that we could possibly see coming into our region in the next coming days. But for tonight, we can see that 26 degrees will be the low for tonight. Clear skies. We do have a river flood warning still in effect from all that rain we've been getting. It'll be in effect until 3 a.m. We have wind speeds that could be going up to 31 miles per hour, and the sun sets at 5:32 p.m. For tomorrow morning, it'll be 28 degrees with sunny skies with an 8-mile-per-hour wind from the west. So make sure to bundle up because even though it'll be sunny, it'll still be very, very cold, below freezing. And out tomorrow afternoon, it'll be warming up to 49 degrees. So maybe just wear a hoodie or a coat so you can take off throughout the day. It will be partly cloudy skies with 31-mile-per-hour wind gusts. again, but the sun will be rising at 6:48 a.m. Tomorrow night it'll be dropping down to 43 degrees, so not a huge difference. Partly cloudy skies. Again, those 30-mile-per-hour winds will be still going on until tomorrow night, and the sun sets at 5:33 p.m. But for our 5-day outlook, we can see that there is a little bit more rain that we could possibly be getting. 49 degrees on Wednesday for the high with partly cloudy skies. Thursday will be cloudy with 53 degrees. Friday will be 37 degrees for the low, so we'll be dropping down a little bit. We will be possibly seeing some rain in the afternoon. Saturday will be no rain, but partly cloudy skies, but still pretty cold temperatures. But here's what we need to be looking out for. Sunday, we could possibly seeing a rain-snow mix. So the temperatures are going to be pretty low, going down below freezing, but it's supposed to rain, so that could possibly bringing in some ice and snow. So be careful with that if you are planning on going home, for sure.
Exactly. There, it feels like it's spring since we're seeing a lot of rain, but we know that it's still winter.
Yeah, it seems like it's about to be. It always seems like it's about to be spring. We have to be a little bit warmer, but then there's snow. This happens a lot this time of year. So
we've been tricked.
We keep getting tricked. That's Southern Illinois for you.
Thanks, Madeline.
And now here's Ryan Davis with the preview of what's coming up next in sports. Ryan.
Hello again, Saluki fans. Coming up, an SIU alum takes home a high honor, and men's basketball faces a pivotal Valley foe. You're watching River Region Evening Edition. "42 years of broadcasting excellence in the Southern Illinois area has culminated in one of the highest honors for an SIU alum and great. SIU radio sports broadcaster Mike Reese was inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame last night, and Reese took a moment to reflect on the great moments he's witnessed here at SIU.
I've been very, very lucky to see a lot of the great moments. The Sweet 16 in '02 is the biggest thing, the best thing in my mind. The '07 Sweet 16 probably the best team that I've covered in terms of basketball-wise.
Reese has been recognized by a total of 3 Halls of Fame and was also awarded the Illinois Sportscaster of the Year in 2011. And into dog-eat-dog world in Carbondale tonight as the Salukis take on the Drake Bulldogs for the second time this season. The Dogs lost to Drake earlier this year when the Bulldogs pulled off an 82-70 win in Des Moines. Now the Salukis are looking for a little revenge after winning 3 of its last 4 games, and with 5 of its players averaging double figures for the season. The last time this happened was in the 1993-94 season. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. and can be viewed on ESPN+. And the women's golf team finished the battle at Boulder Creek in second place. The team trailed behind UNLV by 39 strokes, 51 over par to 12 over par. Emily McGiles and Jackie Biggs led the SIU women, tying for 8th, both ending the day with 228 strokes. With the first match of the spring season finished, the Salukis have 2 weeks to prepare for this Islanders Classic later this month. And SIU boasts another MVC Player of the Week as softball catcher Caitlin Massa takes home the honor following her performance at the Lion Classic this past weekend. The junior Saluki hit a team best 5 for 10 with 3 doubles, 3 walks, and 6 RBIs. Her 6 RBIs and 3 doubles were tied for the most by a Valley player during the season's opening. This is Massa's second time receiving the award. And for you baseball fans, you'll be excited to know that Itchy Jones Stadium got a few facility upgrades for the new season. The 40-year-old stadium now has 6 permanent cameras with the Bats video system, the same one used by major league teams. Fans can see the new upgrades themselves at the home opener on March 1st. And England's 1966 winning goalkeeper Gordon Banks has died at the age of 81. Banks was regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, having been named FIFA Goalkeeper of the Year 6 times and contributed in England's historic run to claiming the 1966 World Cup. His defining moment, however, is when he denied Brazilian legendary forward Pelé during England's clash against Brazil in the 1970 World Cup, and what became dubbed the save of the century. He's survived by his wife and 3 children. But in happier news, refugee soccer player Hakeem Al-Arabi returns home to Melbourne after being released from prison in Bangkok. The 25-year-old soccer player was released after Thai authorities dropped the extradition case that could have sent him back to his native Bahrain to serve a 10-year prison sentence. Al-Arabi has been in prison since November when he landed at Bangkok for his honeymoon. The campaign to free Al-Arabi was led by Australian broadcaster Craig Foster.
Thanks, Ryan. How long will these gloomy conditions stick around? Madeline has a final check of the forecast next.
But first, as we head to break, be sure to follow us on social media at River Region News and check out our website for more local content. We'll be right back. Finally tonight, a picture showing 2 Missouri paramedics going above and beyond the call of duty is going viral.
The 2 firefighter paramedics with the Maryland Heights Fire Department pushed a patient nearly a mile up an icy hill to get her to the hospital after their ambulance got struck. The 2 men said they had no idea someone had taken their picture while they were going up the hill. They say they're enjoying the nice comments people are leaving, thanking them for their hard work. You know, these firefighters were super courageous during this act, super quick to action, ready to help, even in these weather conditions.
Exactly.
Madeline, what is our weather looking like for us in our 5-day forecast?
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a lot of ice until about Sunday, but we will be having a warm-up on Wednesday and Thursday with 49 and 53 degrees respectively. Friday, we might be seeing a little bit of rain and dropping down to 37 degrees, so it's going to get colder again. Saturday is going to be about partly cloudy skies, going back down to 37 degrees. And on Sunday, it's going down to 36 degrees. And we're going to have the rain-snow mix, so that could be putting some ice on the road because we have a low of 29 degrees, and that could cause the rain to freeze onto the road. So we need to be careful about that this weekend.
So I just got out my rain boots, but now you're telling me I got to get my snow boots back out, and my ice scraper, and my gloves.
The whole 9 yards.
Well, in my professional opinion, keep out both. Keep out your umbrella, your rain boots, and your snow boots.
All the time.
Because we never know what's going to happen.
Yes, welcome to Southern Illinois.
Of course.
This area is super unpredictable.
Exactly. All right, thanks, Madeline.
Well, thank you for watching us tonight. The Nightly Business Report is up next. I'm Diamond Palmer.
And I'm Jacob Gordon. For Madeline Parker, Ryan Davis, and all the students who work on Evening Edition. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.